Well, hello again. Another video. This is in two bits. One is on tricks and tips just to show you, and another bit is on my new Loco added to the fleet, which is the Transpennine Class 68. I have actually got the ScotRail one, which is called Darling. I've got the direct rail one, which is called Avenger, and now I've got this one, which is a beautiful looking Loco with the colours, which is the Felix one, and I'll go into that bit in a second. First of all, one of the things you can, if you use a mouse, you can control your trains a lot better. There's the little mouse. In the INI file there's one called mouse control. If it's on 0, put it to 1 and you'll get this part coming up. Now what that is if you go to, I always use the stop button, press the stop button, move the mouse cursor into the main screen here, and if you press the left key, the train is set for reverse. Press the right key, it goes forward, and if you actually scroll the wheel forward, the train starts moving up. Scroll it back, it does that, and press the top and it stops. Now what I'll actually do, I'll just explain and show you this one. If I now go to all, now what I'm going to use is my HN rail one, which is sitting there. So what we do first is we click the stop button there, bring this mouse into here. Now we're going to go actually in reverse mode because that's the way this train's set. Alright. Now all I've got to do now is start scrolling the wheel forward, as you see like this. Now watch the train. Now look at that for control. You won't get that with any sliders or anything like that, but you've got the finer control. Press the top of the wheel and it stops. Press the right key and scroll it forward again, and it starts to do this. So you've got a very fine control, more so when you're using shunters. Just press the top of the wheel and it stops. And you can do that with all your trains. So if you've got a train running around at full speed, all you've got to do on your mouse is to scroll the wheel backwards and it'll slow the train down. And all you do is press the top of the wheel and it stops the train. That is one little thing you can do. Now, another thing that you can actually do, which I've never used because I need the trains here as such. If you press the top, like that one there for the HN rail, right? If I go over here again into this part and hold the wheel down for 2 seconds and let go, you get all your trains up. Now what it'll do now, if I now go and scroll the wheel up to that one, the Crimson Tank, if I just press it, it goes purple. I actually can then control the train like this, like that. The only problem with this one, if I just click it back out, is if your train's down the bottom here somewhere, it'll light up down the bottom. It doesn't jump it up to the top. So it has got its disadvantage, that part. But the thing is, if you've got the trains here like this, you can press whatever you want, such as like on this one here, we change it to rail. I now go to reverse, which is going to do like that, and the train, now look at that, that is fine control. So using the mouse is quite easy. Most of the time I don't use it other than a bit of shunting, but the thing is, because usually I use the shunt and the cruise, and that's all I ever use on them, plus all the lights. Another one is, you know, when you go to this part here and find your trains. Now if you've got 1 or 2 trains, it doesn't matter, but when you've got a lot of trains, I've got 77 now I think it is, I'll lose count, is you've got to scroll this thing up and down to find the train when you want to do your CVs. But if you go to this little box here like that, now I'm going to put in 95, which is this new one, right? Press the enter key and it's there, look, it comes into this part of the box, so it's there, so it's easy to find. In other cases, if I go to here again and put in 25, we'll call it, let's put it on like this. Just go to here and put in 25 like that and press the enter key. It's there, look, it comes on the top. So and there's your train. So it's easy then to go to your CVs and change your CVs. So that's another little good trick. So that is one thing you can do with the system. But that is basically a couple of little tricks that you can utilise at your leisure. Right, let's get back to this train. Right, as you know, I've got, as I've just said, I've got the ScotRail, I've got Direct Rail, and I've got now the TransPennine. Now these two, this one and this one, they've actually got Zemo MX634D decoders in them. Now, the reason I changed them is I couldn't control my trains to where I wanted to do. So there's a train here somewhere that's stopping me going to a demo. It's most probably one of those I've just been playing with. Okay, let's try this, do that and do that. Let's see if this does it. One of the things is with, that's it. One of the things is if you've got something just slightly running on here, if you're in different groups, you can't change groups, you have to find it. That is something I've asked Railmaster to sort out, because it is a nightmare. Because if you've got a lot of trains, you've got to go in every one of them basically and press the stop one. It's only go 1 mile an hour and it'll stop this happening. So that's something I've asked for in Railmaster. There's another part I've asked for them as well. Said we've had no updates for 12 months now. I don't know why. Anyway, one of the things is if I go to my ScotRail one, which is this one here, right? With these two particular ones now, I've had to change about 8 CVs in it, which I've got the list for if anybody wants it, is that these now have independent lighting, so that the headlights on here and the tail lights and the halo lights are all separate. So I can show you, because those two are where they are, I'll show you this one here, which is the ScotRail one. If I now just put on the tail lights, all you get on is the tail lights, you can see. So I can independently do this, and I can actually put the main lights on, which will be down the front here, as you can see, but there's no tail lights, so I can independently change them. There are switches in the top, there's about 5 switches in the top, but once you've got the lid on, the only way you can get it is take this off, and you don't want to be doing that. You can manually turn the tail lights off and everything else, but I want to do them like I've got these. Now this one, the new one, at the moment has got a Dapple Imperium decoder in it. I can't do the same with that as I can with the other two. What I've actually got is, at the moment, I turn the main lights on, which puts these lights on, and it brings the tail light on. The only way I can turn the tail lights off is to change these lights to halo lights, and then the tail lights come off. I've got no independent way of changing it. I've actually wrote to Dapple asking how I can do this. Apparently the tech guy is on holiday at the moment, so I'm waiting for a reply back from that. But these Zemo ones are brilliant from that point of view, is I can independently change the lighting round. I've seen things on YouTube, and I've tried different ways, but I don't know, they still don't work. So I've just got to wait for Dapple on that. Now then, when it comes to these these trains are actually gorgeous. They really are. They're heavy, they're really well made, but they have one failing, which is the coupling on the back. It's got a kinetic coupling, and what happens is it hangs down like this, so that when you're trying to couple, it won't couple. But also what happens is that here's a normal NEM coupling, which is that one there. What happens is it's that low that this little part here, the piece that hangs at the bottom, catches here. and it tends to lift it a bit. The only other danger it is that if you send the train this way, you can actually rip that part, the hook part off, which one or two have had the problem. It is a serious problem which Dapple have not cured yet, but that is one thing, is the actual thing dips down like that. So uncouplings, but what I've got on here, these are normal wagons on here. Now if I push this train back, and that'll uncouple straight away. As if you had these on, these are the KD couplings, which are brilliant, but it has the same problem. Because the actual thing hangs down, that bit there will catch in the points. The only solution I've found, which is a good one, which are these, which are the hunt couplings, which are the magnets, and I'm actually, just for a demo, I've actually shown you on this. There it is. All it is basically is a bar. All my Pullmans I did have a problem on going around the track. They were all nuking on regular occasions. I've now, all my Pullmans have all got these KD couplings on. Now if all you've got to do is to do this, like that, and they come apart. All you've got to do is to wheel the train back again, or see how they connect? And they, look, that's how good they are. They're very, very strong. So that is one thing with them, is that you've got a good coupling with them. See, they are, that's how good they are. They just pull apart like that. Look. You can get them from Westhill Wagon Works. There's different varieties for for coaches, for wagons and all that. But I really recommend them if you're using these type of trains. They never pull apart, and there's nothing sitting underneath there which can catch in your points. So that's the way I do mine. Now then, what I've got is, you want to look inside this thing now, I'm not going to take the top off, but what I've actually done, I've done some photographs. And one of the things is with this is what I call well design. Right? This is what it looks like inside. This is one of these, which is a bass reflex speaker. I used to use it, put these in all my diesels, and I've now chucked them. Well, I haven't chucked them away. I've put them away. I don't use them anymore. But what it is when it goes in like that down there, there are grills in the bottom for the sound to come out. And also, as these are the ridges where it sits on, as it's about that deep, it comes an echo chamber, so it gives you more sound. Now if you look at the Hornby TTS decoders, which have the round disc ones, what happens with those is when you get to put it in with the speaker, which has to face down, the bottom of the tender is blank. There's no holes in it, no nothing, so the sound gets deadened straight away. So what I've done, like with my big steam trains, I've put these in, which are the Al sound speakers. All I've done with that is, all you've got to do is drill two little tiny holes where the slope goes down. I then poke the wires through, solder them on, and that sits in underneath the coal. These are excellent. I recommend these to anybody. As you see there, these are £8.9. These I get from Steve, the Hobby Goblin, who I get most of the stuff. Most of my trains, well, virtually all my trains, all these, all came from Steve at the Hobby Goblin. I'm in there regularly, see what's going on. He has a lot of second-hand stuff. He does O gauge, and he does N gauge, and also like all the points and signals and everything. He does, and he's an agent for DC Concepts, and also AE models, which are the new decoders which are coming out. And if you watch a new one that's come out by Jenny Kirk, she actually shows you these new decoders and how good they are, and they're cheap. We usually with a cheap decoder you have a problem, but those are very, very good. I've got one. I haven't got it in the train, it's downstairs, but I do recommend those as well. So one thing with this is that, say, that is what it looks like without that in. If I now go to here, That's what it looks like with one of these in. Right? It sits in there quite well. If you use the base reflex, you have to undo this little strap here and this one here to fit them in. As you can see, there's all the switches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 little switches. And that one at the end there turns the tail lights on and off. Now, I don't want to be manually going into that. But when the body's on, if you take this bar, which is a bit awkward to get off and flip off, you can get to most of the switches in there. But you don't want to be doing that when the train's around there. So I want to control them electronically through Railmaster, as I do with this one and this one. So I'm just seeing what happens there. If I get no joy from that, I will buy a new Zemo MX 644D to put in that one there. The train itself, there's lots of videos on these trains. The detail on it is absolutely gorgeous. What I've done with this one, I've now got a little a little run on this train doing certain things. One of the things is, of course, is I use the train announcement, which is this thing here. This one. This is what I use, train announcements. It's from Pip and Bean. It's 20 quid. What you've got here is the destination. If you go to here, there are all the trains alphabetically. Every station in the country basically is on there, look. So you can pick your trains where you want to go. Then all you do is, for this part here, is you can actually pick up these as well and put them in. Then all you got to do is you've got trains and motor coaches, first class where it is, Buffy car and all the rest of it. It's got other hundreds of little tricks in here. If I go to this one here, these are all the sounds of different things. If I go to, let's go for, what should we do? Ice cream van. Let's go for the ice cream van. That's the ice cream van. Signal box bells. Do that bit. There's thunderstorms. There's a market. There's seagulls. There is traffic. There's loads of stuff in there. So there's lots of stuff in there you can actually use. But say it is well worth the money. But also this independently runs separately from Railmaster. You make your program up, put it in a file, and then you can actually put that into a program, which I'll show you now. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this up here now. I've got this one going to Grimsby because it's a Transpennine. This goes from Manchester across through to Hull. That's the route it usually takes across there. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you this. Now remember, that, and that, and that, and non-sound. So I won't forget them, I'm doing this one. So this is a non-sound train. Ready? So what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to click it on. And its lights come on. It's running on halo lights because then I've got no tail lights on there. This is the train announcement.
Stockport, Sheffield, Doncaster, Scunthorpe and Grimsby Town only. This train is formed of 3 coaches. First class accommodation is located at the front of the train.
But also in this part of the programme, the sign there has gone for Grimsby Town. That's added into the programme as well. There's the whistle. How is it whistling? It's a non-sound train. But watch as it comes round. Building the speed up. This is set at 20 on CB3. Oh, where's that come from? Go round again. There's it again. Do one more. it'll come round and stop in the station. Now this might not stop where it's supposed to stop. I'm still playing with this one a little bit. It might stop short, it might stop on time, might go over, I don't know. But it's virtually behaved itself. So that's what that does. Now this one here, again, is non-sound. Now what it's actually, the sounds you hear are coming out of this, which is the Class 47. It is sitting here because that's where most of the sounds are going to be coming from. So I set the Loco roughly where those sounds I want. So this one now, I'm going to put this and start this one off, which is the direct rail one. I'll put the lights on and I'll put it on cruise. Now you notice it doesn't fly off. This one's set at 20 as well. It just goes around like this. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the one here. As it comes round, all I'm going to do is press the horn on that Class 47. As you see. So it's a little way you can actually affect non-sounds you've got on trains. And say this is, I've set this down to a low speed, because that's what it's doing. It's an ore wagon. It's not getting run around like a lunatic. If I go it again. Now when I bring it round again, when I slow it down to shunt, which is over there, there's another sound which we can put into it. If I now go down and put it into shunt, there's wagon clanging. And that is all done through that train there. So when you're doing a programme, same as on this one here, which is Grimsby 3, if I go to Grimsby 3 in here, which is what I hate doing around this bit. There's no quick way around this one, I'm afraid. Grimsby 3, there. As you see, that one there is the station sign coming on. Then I've got the lights on. Then I've got the station announcement. I've got the guard's whistle, which is coming off at 47 there. Also that one up there. Then I've got the high-low, which is 47, 47, 47, then it stops. So that is incorporating that Loco into that programme. So it's a lot easier how to make programmes up with different trains. It's like the steam ones. If I'd got one of my steam trains going around here, I would actually put a steam train in here to make it go round. But the thing is if I go into, take these off here, turn the lights off here, like this, I have to do this one. If I go to all, like this, and we'll go down the Loco, I'll just go for steam, it's the easiest way to do it. If I go to steam up here, and I look at the Princess Arthur, which is sitting here, I don't do the sound. If I do this, that has got one of the all sound speakers in it. So that's how good they are. See, this is wheel slip. That train is over there, over the side. That's how good these speakers are. They're brilliant. So this is something you can actually utilise. So that is it for this particular one. If anybody wants me at any time, or wants this, the CVs, if you get the MX 644D, the Zemo one, I can give you all the CVs to change to make them do what these two particular trains do. So you always get me on 01782 302194. My email address is there as well. Please subscribe, and also if you go to my channel list, there's a little donate button there if you want to donate anything. It's much appreciated. So please call me for anything to do with Railmaster, any queries whatsoever, and I'll be quite happy to help you out. So once again, thank you, please subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.